of all of these things, and never measured. So the effects of ecosystem resilience by thousands of the individual decisions on ecosystems, whether watersheds or terrestrial ecosystems, are never measured. There's no oversight by government on the cumulative effects of individual decisions made under statute by existing resource managers in good faith with their current statutory regulatory responsibilities. And so as a result, it's quite possible that the natural capital is being eroded, made more brittle, and having less ability to accommodate the kind of changes that we see. And it's done so unknowingly, unwittingly, and not with any design, simply because the structure of government has made decisions on an individual resource basis. That's how we manage the resource base. I'm suggesting we turn that on its head and look at the implications of managing for ecosystems and identify ecosystem indicators that you manage towards. And if you look at the maintenance of these indicators on an ecological unit, whether it's a watershed or a land resource base, and see whether these are being sustained and how they can be, resiliency can be maintained. And that would mean, in my mind, a different form of governance. That there would have to be some oversight by some agency that would act as a traffic cop on all the individual decisions made by individual agencies. And there's no way that that can happen overnight in BC. So the suggestion I am making is that we think through possibly taking one or two of the LRFPs and looking at ecosystems rather than as plannings. Looking at the predictive modeling of how the ecosystems are changing these LRFPs and what cumulative management measures may be required to address the decisions being made. The second is on watersheds. Water is a great integrator for the land base. The health of a land base is manifested in the health of a river. If the land base is abused, the river is abused. And that will manifest itself in droughts, in floods, in riparian disturbance, in a non-functioning ecosystem. If the river and the land are in sync, the river will ecologically function in a healthy way. I suggest that the idea of the ecosystem approach be applied both to a couple of LRFPs and to a number of watersheds. And we look at the ways in which we change the input-based resource model to an outcome-based ecological analysis. Is that possible? What would be involved in doing that? What's the governance structures that would make that happen? What information do we need to track ecosystem change? How do we link that to predictive modeling on ecosystem change that might take place without doing that? A second subset of this question is, what is the current regulatory process to do that? Does the existing laws of the land do that? If not, I don't believe it does. What kind of changes to the Forest and Range Act, the Water Act, the Land Act would be required in order to shift gears to an ecosystem-based approach? And is that practical? Now, some of you folk here who've got issues near and dear to your heart and conservation and connectivity corridors, etc. This is where you can place your big vision pictures. So John Bogansky and others got themselves all exercised yesterday about that we need some kind of vision of where we're going to be going 30 or 50 years from now, and then start working steps through it. The vision talks about what is the appropriate balance between full protected areas and areas that will still be subject to resource use, but are resource use based on eco-based system principles. What is the concept of changing the way we manage water so that we place priority on ecosystem values of water before we place values on the use of water as a commodity for irrigation, flood control, residential use? What are the opportunities to expand connectivity corridors to enable threads of corridors to allow species to migrate in a changing climate world? Where should they be placed? What policies need to be put in place in the Range and Practices Act and Land Act and the Oil and Gas Act to preserve the integrity of these corridors because I'll accept allowing them to be whittled away by individual decisions. So what is a grand scheme of land use policies and water policies that would provide for a sense of ecological resilience that could be then used to accommodate some of these changes that are coming into place. So this is those people who have got these ideas about changing the way we do business. This is the working group that we should be at. The second working group is dealing with what are the implications of moving from an input-based resource decision entitlement model to an output-based ecosystem management model. How do we get there? What kind of pilot projects do we need to make this happen? How do we do it in a way we don't frighten the horses? How can we do it in a way that is incremental, leads to real change? How do we get communities involved in this? How do we become part of supporting this model in local government and federal and national governments? What kinds of information systems are required to support this, etc. I'm not asking you to answer all these questions. You do us a great service and you simply ask those questions. And then the final group we thought would be in the broad area of education, outreach, communications, and professional development. In my mind, I mentioned this in my opening statement yesterday, there needs to be much more understanding in the public about what potentially is on the cards in terms of biodiversity and climate change, using the first piece of work, outputs of that to provide a broad-based education system, both in the schools and post-secondary institutions. But I also think that there's a real opportunity through PICS to develop a course in all of the resource universities in the province. The concept here is that there would be the idea of this would go right into the classroom as a core course in resource management. The second area of this is the whole concept of professional development. We have foresters, planners, biologists, ecologists, economists, all of whom have some kind of responsibility for ongoing professional development. How do we build into professional development an understanding of climate change factors so that they become, as professionals, more aware of the changes and more aware of what kinds of changes in their professional approaches are required to accommodate this change. The third area is the whole question of outreach. How do you engage communities? How do you engage third parties? How do you engage practitioners or land developers, ski resort owners, in ways that they can manage their businesses in a way that offsets the impact of climate change? What information do they need to know in order for them to become better stewards of the land in a changing and non-static climate base? And the fourth area is simply the broader question of communications. How do we make this information available to the public as a whole, so that they are more informed and can express their interests through community meetings, through engagement with local government, engagement with federal government. So what are the techniques in various aspects of education communication at the school level, the secondary level, professional development level, communications and community engagement that might be considered to bring the whole question of biodiversity and climate change into an informed public realm? What I propose is the 3 breakout groups that would meet following the break, subject to feedback in the next half hour on the proposal. And as a second time, then each of the groups will be charged with 2 tasks. One is what would be done to prepare the ground to make this recommendation viable by the end of June 2008. What we usually do is get a detailed proposal underway. Who should we engage with to do that? Who are our allies? Who are likely to be the barriers? How do we overcome the barriers? And then secondly, what would be the potential outcomes of this work? What would be its impact? What are the things that we should be aware of that would improve the impact and reduce the cost drivers? So that's what I proposed for the groups to review in the next 2 hours.